Hi, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Dedication. Today we're going to do Pride, Prejudice, and Pledging, formerly Phi Alpha Pi. This book is dedicated to two different people. To the two women who are my sisters, one in blood and one in spirit. Katie, the only person who can both love the same things as me, but for totally different reasons. Emily, who figured me out at the age of 15 and still loves me anyway. Why did I make this about sisters? Because this is Pride and Prejudice. This is a book about sisters. Even sorority sisters share a closeness that sometimes only sisters can feel. I always felt that there's both the family you're born to and the family you make. Sometimes the family you've been born to, you don't like them. They're not in sync with you. And since I grew up on the other side of the country, the bottom half of the country, while most of my family was up here, meant it was harder for me to get to know them. We grew up with the family we made, and sometimes the family you make comes in and out of your life. But those two women, my sister Katie and my best friend Emily, have never gone away. Katie is 6.5 years younger than me. She lives in California now, but she's probably the person I speak to more often. If there's anyone who's going to understand the way I see the world, it's Katie, because she sees it through similar lenses. We've had similar trauma, similar joys, similar pains, similar happiness, but we're both very different women. This weekend alone, I think we've talked 3 times, mostly because we had to discuss Stranger Things and Obi-Wan and whatever else is going on TV, and our parents, and her growing a child, which at this point, when I'm recording this, she's still like a month and a half from delivering. So Hunter, if you're watching this as an adult, you're not here yet. So when I dedicated this to Katie, I wanted to make sure that it was because to honor that part of us, this two people who are so very different, yet so very alike. And Katie even let me borrow her name for Love from Northanger Park's Katie. Emily's the other person in that dedication. I met Emily at 15 through the B'nai B'rith Youth Organization. And if you remember my Love from Northanger Park's Katie video, I talk about this being the youth group that took us to another theme park every year when we were in high school. That wasn't my favorite thing to do. But Emily and I met the first year I joined. We had been put in charge of planning something. I don't even know what, but we got along really well. And we were both stuck. This was something that had started in April. School ended in June, and then the two of us were just sort of stuck in Miami for the summer. All of our friends had gone other places. I don't even remember what I was doing. It was either lifeguarding or volunteering or working at a camp. I don't know. Or summer school. It could have been summer school. But she had turned 16 in April and now could drive, because in Miami, you get your license at 16. This was also the summer before Hurricane Andrew. And if you're too young to remember, or you just didn't care at the time because Miami, Hurricane Andrew was devastating and probably changed our friendship more than we realized. But at that point, we were two people home for the summer. Most of our other friends had gone away to camps or to see family or to do whatever. So we had nothing to do but hang out. And every week we went and saw another movie. Some were terrible. Emily will tell you about how I made her go see Candyman. And I think I still have her nail mark scars on my hand. That was not the last time I made her see a horror movie, but as an adult, I've rarely made her see a horror movie. There was one called Dr. Giggles that was very bad, but that was that same summer. So if there was a movie coming out, we generally saw it, and our parents let us just take her mother's car and go. We'd grab dinner sometimes. Sometimes we saw something early and we just went home afterwards. But it was a bonding experience. We learned a lot about what we both liked and didn't like over that summer. I don't even remember what other movies we saw. But then we both went to visit family in the Northeast, and that same week was the week Hurricane Andrew hit. So we both missed the hurricane, but got to live through the aftermath. And while my parents' home was not destroyed, Emily's parents were. That summer, she also went on a cruise, had her first kiss, and fell in love, and I was the one helping her pick up the pieces when she came home. There were some other friendship issues during our teenage years. I like a little drama. I tended to create it more than observe it when I was in high school, and Emily put up with a lot of that throughout the years. There was college where she came up to Syracuse, but then transferred to Florida State as I was falling apart. There were years where she was in New York and I was in Miami. We've never lived in the same place at the same time since high school, but we're always going to make time for each other. Right now, I tend to be the one to go visit because I don't have kids and she does. But I go see them. Her kids are, until now, my number one present receivers. I knitted for them. And when she comes up to visit, this is a place she knows she will just relax. She won't have to pay attention to anybody. She won't have to nobody will make demands on her time or energy. This is just quiet. And I will take her for ice cream if that's what she wants. Or I'll take her shopping if that's what she wants. And Cedric gives her kisses, even when that's not what she wants. What would be in store for our future? Probably the same old shit. We have this fantasy of buying a chateau in France, somewhere within driving or train distance to Paris, if not Paris itself, but very likely we won't be able to afford that. We would very much like a chateau. That way we can have like our families far, far away, but we have each other. But is that reality? I don't know. I really do hope so, but families. Will she be the dedicatee of another book? Possibly. But she's the sister I've made, not the one I was born with. I've already got one of those, and she's here too.